Week 10, Part 2, 10.2 Academic Journals. The analytic exploration is framed around a basic research aim, which is to explore a current conversation on a topic in a discipline. To locate a conversation within the recent research of a discipline, you will review abstracts from recent articles across 3 journals in a discipline. After recognizing patterns, themes, and topics across the abstracts, you will read and annotate 9 abstracts, which will be organized for Assignment 10.2 in a grid and a bib. Of the 9 abstracts, you will identify 3 abstracts and their articles that relate to a shared topic, which will be your research topic for the analytic exploration. The 3 articles will be analyzed over the next 2 weeks. Ultimately, the analyzed articles will be synthesized with public and primary sources to inform your thesis on the current disciplinary perspectives on the topic and serve as the content for your analytic exploration. Topics and conversations. Now that you have identified a discipline and located 3 journals, you are ready to review abstracts within each journal in search of a conversation that spans at least 3 articles across at least 2 of the journals, preferably 1 article from each of the 3 journals. The conversation will be your research topic for the analytic exploration. We want to review the main terms we will use: journal, article, and abstract. Academic writing is usually published in academic journals, which are peer-reviewed publications that publish scholarship from within a particular field of study. Some journals are published quarterly, and some are published more or less often. Each edition that is published contains articles on a specific topic in a field, and sometimes these articles are preceded by a short summary of their content called abstract. In popular writing, a magazine is like a journal. A magazine article is like a journal article, and an abstract is like an executive summary or short list of bullet points that provides a succinct overview of the content in the article. To locate academic articles published in scholarly journals, we will use the USF library and start by locating 3 journals for you to explore. You can search the journals through the library, but most journals have a dedicated website that you can access through the library online. Some of the journals' websites will allow you to search and skim the abstracts through archives, so check to see if this option is available to make searching and skimming easier. As you skim the abstracts across a few volumes from the last few years of each journal, make note of trending topics and patterns across themes. The goal is to locate a topic that is part of a conversation. For our purposes, we define that as a topic that is engaged in at least 3 articles and across multiple journals. Skimming the abstracts of all 3 journals before landing on a topic is an effective approach to narrowing a topic for your analytic exploration. Identifying and narrowing a topic based on an assignment and the available research is an important step in most writing projects and processes. A great place to start is simply to learn about possible topics and explore conversations taking place around the subject in general and within a specific field. When you identify an interesting topic, you will probably want to take the time to explore a few before landing on one. See what is available on the topic in the academic literature across disciplines and beyond the academy. Is there a significant amount of work on the topic, and are there established groups of subtopics? Is there an academic and public discourse on the topic? Are there established understandings that all interested stakeholders and scholars consider common ground or established facts? In general, these shared spaces have to exist to feed a flourishing conversation. To understand a broad topic, it is valuable to understand the foundational information, which can be found in canonical or seminal works that highlight major terms in the ongoing conversation and denote large or important revelations that impact the conversation and might even change the understandings of the foundation. For our analytic exploration, we know that we will engage popular and public sources in addition to our academic sources, so starting with the scholarly research to select a topic is the best option for our project and for most, but reviewing the broad conversation at this point in the process can help you avoid problems once you are deep into the research process. Starting with a strong topic is vital to success in any research or writing project. Exploring the topic is an important part of the work in general, but it is also the best way to select a topic when that step is included in the assignment. Journals. For assignment 10.2, you will locate the recent research within a discipline across 3 journals and locate at least 9 abstracts to include in your bibliography and grid. You have identified 3 journals, and now you are ready to skim the abstracts from each to select 3 abstracts from each journal to read closely. At least 3 of the abstracts should be associated with the topic you plan to explore in your analytic exploration. If you find more than 3 articles related to your topic, feel free to include them in your 9. Not all 9 abstracts included in your 10.2 grid and bibliography should be directly related to your topic. Reviewing a variety of abstracts will help you identify the topic you plan to explore and the 3 articles you will analyze, and it will provide a broader context for the kind of work being done in the discipline in each journal and perhaps in the specific area of the discipline that is the specialization of the journal. For the bibliography portion of 10.2, include the formatted reference for each of the 9 articles associated with the abstract, and format all in accordance with the guidelines of a formatting style, preferably the style you plan to use for your analytic exploration. Then paste the abstract. As you read the abstract, add your own coding and commentating. Not all abstracts follow the same organization structure, but key elements are generally included. When you are annotating and coding your abstracts, try to find a general introduction of the topic, a research question or problem, an overview of the research design, the results or findings, an interpretation of the findings, and a conclusion. Highlight any of the following terms when you annotate the abstract: research, question, problem, thesis, argue, hypothesis, results, findings, conclusion, methods. After annotating the abstract, write a 1-sentence summary of the abstract, identifying the thesis, result, or argument. After you provide a reference, annotated abstract, and 2-sentence summary for each of the 9 abstracts, state your research topic with the 3 articles that create the conversation connected to the topic, which will serve as the 3 articles you read closely and analyze for the analytic exploration. In addition to a bibliography of the abstracts, you will provide a link to a grid with all 9 abstracts. The abstract grid you submit for 10.2 should include information from all 9 abstracts. Include column categories for article title, journal, author, year, thesis and results, and key terms. Format the content for each criteria within the rows. Include the link to your grid at the bottom of the bibliography document you upload to Canvas for assignment 10.2. Articles and abstracts. The articles you will read for this project will discuss content that is complex and sometimes unfamiliar to you. It is normal to find them difficult and sometimes incomprehensible. One way to navigate through this difficulty is to follow their structure and identify its main parts, which usually are introduction, methods, results, and discussion. The introduction grounds the research in the context of the field and topic and explains why this research is necessary. It also explains the state of the field, discussing what is missing from it, and states any research question or hypothesis that initiated the study. The methods section explains the research design. It contains information about how the study was conducted, the subjects surveyed, the instruments used, etc. The results represent the findings. It answers the research question or hypothesis, shares analysis of the data, and defines outcomes of the study. Finally, the discussion explains the importance of the findings, connects them to the field, and explains their possible limitations and future trends. Different fields and journals have different expectations, but even when the standard IMRAD layout is not present, there will be a structure, and it will usually be identified in the headings. Some scholarly articles also start with structured abstracts that provide a short overview of these main parts. Reading the abstracts and identifying them, or if the abstract is absent, skimming the article to identify its structure, is the first step in any research process. Read, for example, the formatted reference in the abstract below. The first 5 sentences summarize the introduction, the 6th sentence explains the methods, and the last 3 sentences describe and discuss the findings. This is the citation for the abstract, and this is the abstract. When assessing writing was founded 25 years ago, conversations about fairness were very much in the air and illustrated sharp divides between teachers and educational measurement researchers. For teachers, fairness was typically associated with consistency and access. For educational measurement researchers, fairness was a technical issue. An assessment that did not identify the presence of the bias factor was fair. Since its founding, assessing writing has continued to be a space where evolving discussions about fairness play out. In this article, we examine a section of 73 assessing writing research studies published from 1994 to 2018 that use fairness as a category of evidence. In tracing the use of fairness and related terms across these research articles, our goal is to understand how the conversation about fairness has changed in the last quarter century. Following a literature review that situates fairness with generational, standards-based, and evidential scholarship, we analyze 5 trends in the journal: fairness as the elimination of bias, fairness as the pursuit of validity, fairness as acknowledgement of social context, fairness as legal responsibility, and fairness as ethical obligation. A tidy narrative about theoretical conceptualization of fairness has deepened over the assessing writing lifespan, is not borne out by our findings. Instead, evidence suggests that the disparate stances and methodological stances that informed early research on fairness remain. As well, the textual record suggests that we have not developed our shared taxonomies for systematically investigating questions of fairness. In our desire to make the research we present actionable, we close by calling attention to the need for theorization of fairness, the advantages nuanced of research methods, and the benefits of non-Western perspectives. Even though the titles of the sections aren't included in this abstract, as they often are in structured abstracts, key terms and phrases such as "we examine" and "evidence suggests" helps us identify the key takeaways, which are the elements you will want to highlight and note when you annotate your 9 abstracts. Reviewing the sample abstract grid and an example of how to annotate an abstract for the bibliography will help prepare you to locate and annotate useful material. The process of starting in the journals of a discipline and narrowing to an area of research is a very useful approach for topic selection across courses and disciplines. Assignment 10.2. Identify 9 abstracts across 3 journals. Create an annotated abstract bibliography and a grid for the 9 abstracts. Number 1. In the annotated abstract bibliography, include a formatted reference, the annotated abstract with highlights and comments, and a 1 to 2 sentence summary for each of the 9 abstracts stating the thesis and finding. Then identify 3 articles from the abstracts that form the conversation you will explore in your analytic exploration and describe the topic of the conversation. Number 2. In the abstract grid for each of the 9 abstracts, include the article title, journal, author, year, thesis and results, and key terms, and link access to the grid at the bottom of the bibliography.